last movie in the DCEU has finally come out. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is now in theaters. I checked it out over the weekend. So, what did I think about it? So, really going into this movie, I didn't really have high expectations for it. I just really wanted to go just see a fun movie. I am kind of high on the first Aquaman movie. I know that's kind of rare for some people to actually like it, but I actually did have a lot of fun and enjoyed the first Aquaman movie. So, I didn't necessarily have high expectations for this one. Just wanted to go in, have a fun time, watch a fun movie. But going to the theater on Christmas Eve to check out this movie, I actually was surprised that really nobody actually showed up to go see this movie. I was only one of the only few ones that actually showed up. There was only like 3 people there actually, and I was only one of them. And it was surprising to see that the theater had been pretty much empty. I don't know if it was just because of the holiday or what, but maybe people didn't want to see this. I don't know, but I was only one of the only ones there. So really with this movie, I gotta say that this movie really was a lot more sillier than the first one. Like this one definitely delve like deeper into the more silly route. A lot more, maybe a lot more humor, and I know that this humor in this movie is not going to land for everyone. The humor in this movie is not going to be for everyone. Like even for me, like some of the humor did land for me, but a lot of the other humor did I did like. But this one is definitely a lot more sillier than the first one. Jason Momoa is knocking it up a level with him just being himself as Aquaman. And there's always some fun times that be had with him as Aquaman. Like I enjoy his take on Aquaman. Even if it's not necessarily aligned with the comics, but I still enjoy Jason Momoa and his take on Aquaman at times. And really one of the key things that kind of worked in this movie for me was the whole banter between Orm and Aquaman, and they had some funny parts. They had some funny scenes, and just having that brotherly rivalry going on, and just having some banter between them, just acting as brothers. Like those were some of the more highlights of the film for me. It was funny at times, and just seeing them go back and forth with each other, and just going on this adventure. I gotta say, I think one of the things that this movie suffers from is from a convoluted plot. There's so much going on with different subplots being thrown together. You got the return of Black Manta in here, and basically he is trying to seek his revenge on Aquaman. And throughout the movie, he actually gets possessed by an evil force, and that's like a subplot within itself. And then, the evil force comes out at the end. There's a whole subplot about global warming where Arthur is like really trying to get Atlantis and use their technology and try to get them on board to helping the surface world with this whole global warming crisis. And that was kind of weird to have that in there. So honestly, the whole convoluted plot that they had going on in this movie really made it suffer somewhat for me. And honestly, I think that they should have just gone the route with just having a simple plot. Just have Black Manta seeking his revenge and just keep it at that. I don't think it needed this extra stuff going on in there. And that's what really made the movie suffer for me. Like from overall enjoying this movie a little bit more, it just had such a convoluted plot going on that it just felt like it was too much, and just they should have just kept the plot more simple, to have Black Manta seeking his revenge on Aquaman getting the help of Orm to help defeat him. That's it. That's all they should have had, honestly. And it could have been better if they just kept it simple that way. And really going into this movie, one of my big things I was really looking forward to, that I was really wanting to see, was the return of Black Manta, because I really enjoyed Black Manta in the first Aquaman movie, and I was thinking the trailers were setting him up to be this awesome villain to make his return and seek his revenge on Aquaman. I was like looking forward to it, seeing that. I was hyped for that. And in the beginning of the movie, we kind of do get that. Like he was good, I like Yahya Abdul-Mateen as Black Manta. Like I really enjoy him as Black Manta, and we get some of those cool scenes, awesome scenes in the beginning of the movie. But this whole subplot with him being possessed by this evil force, and the evil force trying to get out, I don't think we need that. Like I said before, I don't think we need that. And honestly, they should just kept it simple to where maybe Black Manta does get the Black Trident, and it just enhances his strength, enhances his power, and it becomes a formidable foe to go up against Aquaman, and then Aquaman needs the help of Orm to defeat him. It would have been better if they just kept it at that. And I was just looking forward to seeing Black Manta just be this powerful, reckless villain, and I feel like we were getting some of that a little bit in the beginning of the movie, but after that, it just felt like I just needed more from Black Manta. I want more from Black Manta. I want him to be this powerful villain, but we didn't really get that in the second half. The third act, I would say the third act, it was a little bit better for me. I think the third act was actually pretty good and had some awesome action scenes. And there was a cool action scene, or a cool fight scene between Aquaman and Black Manta, but it just felt too short for me, honestly. I really wanted more. I wanted to see more between Aquaman and Black Manta. I wanted to see more fighting between them, with like just how we got that last scene in the third act with them fighting. It just felt a little short, and just the way they were able to trail off into something else. I just wanted more from Black Manta because I was just really looking forward to seeing him. And he was such a cool villain in the first movie. I just wanted more of him in this movie, but I just felt like it was lacking a little bit with him, and I just wanted more from him. But if you're wondering if this is more of a DCEU closeout or send-off to DCEU type of film, or if this is just a Aquaman film, this is definitely more of a solo Aquaman adventure film. It doesn't do anything to close out or say goodbye or send off the DCEU in any form. There's no references to anything out in the DCEU. This is basically just Aquaman, his solo adventure, his movie, and nothing really referencing the DCEU in general. So really, with this movie, I wanted to like it more. I really did. There were some good parts about it, but like I was saying, it had a convoluted plot. There was too much going on with the plot. If they kept it a little bit more simple, it could have done better for me. But honestly, after watching the movie and leaving the theater, I wouldn't say I was disappointed with it. I just felt a little underwhelmed and a little like just still not really. I don't know. It was different mixed feelings, honestly, about it. I like some things, a couple of things here and there about it, but overall, it was just, I don't know, it just felt like it was kind of a step down from the first one. Like, I really liked the first one. I know a lot of people don't like the first one, but I had a lot of fun with the first one. I really just wanted to have fun with this one, and sure, there were some parts here and there I had fun with, but overall, it just wasn't the movie I wanted exactly. And in a way, it's kind of sad that this is the movie to end the DCEU. And if this movie would have been at least fun, and I would have at least had a fun time, as much fun as I did with the first movie, this would have been at least somewhat of a good send-off to the DCU, even though it doesn't reference a send-off or goodbye to the DCU. But for me, it would have been at least like, I might have actually missed some stuff from the DCEU with this movie, or with some stuff, anything like that. And the way they just ended this movie, I laughed at the way they ended this movie because it was like a joke to the MCU and the way they did it. And I laughed because it wasn't funny. I just laughed at because they did it. Like, why do something like that to end off your DCEU? I don't know exactly what they're thinking, but it was funny, not in a necessarily funny way, but just funny and just like, why? And there is a post-credit scene, and basically it's a post-credit scene that's just a joke to a reference earlier in the movie that happened. And it's like, with that, really just ending the DCEU. That's like the last scene you're going to get in the DCEU. And it's just like, it's funny, but it's like, why? Just why? It's like, it just feels like they actually don't even care that they're ending the DCEU like this. It's just funny to me that they would do that in this way. It really is kind of funny to me. But yeah, like I said, overall, I wanted to like this movie more. I didn't really necessarily, I like some parts of it, but I cannot overall say that I enjoyed the whole movie of it. But here it is, the closeout to the DCEU. We'll see how the new DC universe goes.